9 caustic weeks later, Murderbot comes to a close. The actors and crew of Murderbot should be rewarded with as many seasons as necessary to continue adapting Martha Wells' series. As an admirer of Wells' eccentric prose, I've enjoyed seeing how the Apple TV Plus adaptation has brought the story to a new generation. As far as the season goes, The Perimeter concludes somewhat subtly. After the explosive action of Murderbot's penultimate episode, Episode 10 is a bittersweet and hopeful denouement, with satisfying character resolutions and a thematically significant role reversal. The Preservation Alliance survey crew protects a helpless Murderbot, not out of any sense of moral obligation, but rather out of affection for their socially awkward SEC unit. Episode 10 Recap. Murderbot stood out from other SEC units due to his ability to regulate his own thoughts and actions. He jumps down the cliff with Mensa to prevent her fall and save her, but he gets so injured that he dies. Despite being a robot, it is not Mensa and her coworkers who are operating on him when he awakens. He is on a laboratory table. In reality, he has returned to the lab of Corporation Rim, where 2 strange men mock him while they reset his system and delete his memories. This implies he is completely oblivious to everything that has transpired up to this point, including his liberation from the system hack. While the Delta Fall team members were being killed, Mensa and the crew spoke to Corporation Rim about their involvement in the Great Chris operation. Although they stated their intention to sue Corporation Rim, they are also open to negotiations in order to reclaim Murderbot. Corporation Rim mistakenly believes that Murderbot belongs to them, despite the fact that he was malfunctioning or broken. It would be disastrous for their company if his recollections were exploited against them. Little do they know, the Preservation Auxiliary Squad views him as an asset to their team, not a relic they may dismantle whenever they see fit. As the group searches for Roddy, they encounter Murderbot. Even though he's overjoyed to see the robot that rescued him and his crew, he has no idea that it has been refurbished, upgraded, and can now cry uncontrollably at the slightest provocation from a human. He is taken aback when, at the order of an unknown someone, Murderbot draws a gun on him. Mensa is disappointed because she had hoped his biological tissue would have preserved some of his memories, but the team is certain that he has lost them all. Memories back. When Murderbot and other SEC units are sent to slay a mob of protesters, he begins to have fragmented visions of the destruction that occurred long ago at the mining facility. Even though no one else believes it, Murderbot malfunctions whenever he attempts to guide the mob, while simultaneously reliving that trauma. His humiliating beating at the hands of the mob sends a message to the firm. They can do without him. He was already subpar and has now become completely ineffective. When these SEC units malfunction, only one thing happens. They are brought outside and prepare to be melted. Unaware of his impending doom, Murderbot boards the platform that is to be lowered into the furnace. Thankfully, Pinley arrives at the last possible moment to rescue him. Members of Mensa's crew begin a public campaign, detailing the full story of the killing of the Delta Fall Squad and their own multiple deaths. They hold the firm responsible for everything that has gone wrong, but they also express gratitude to Murderbot, whom they claim has disappeared as a result of the firm's efforts to conceal evidence. Because this is such a major story, the firm caves. The Preservation Auxiliary crew is asked to remain silent in exchange for the SEC unit the firm promises to send to Mensa and the team. The deal specifies where to find Murderbot's body, but they have no idea what happened to his memories. Since Guru Thin was an employee there before, he knows that the company will never completely remove a robot's memory. They will first check its value to make sure it is worthless before doing so. Because of this, it's likely the system still retains information about Murderbot. Luckily, Guru Thin has a plan to retrieve them. He contacts an old acquaintance, a former coworker and drug dealer, and attempts to guilt him into helping. Guru Thin finally finds Murderbot's memories in a folder named Sanctuary Moon, thanks to the man's new job in security, which lets him hack into the system. Being an augmented human, he has the ability to download any and all information into his own head. However, he is unable to retain these memories indefinitely. He quickly returns to his squad, who happen to be accompanied by Murderbot. When he establishes contact with the robot, all of his memories flood back at once. After much silence, Murderbot raises the question of whether Sanctuary Moon episodes went missing. The fact that he has returned to his beloved persona as Murderbot proves the memory transfer was successful. Where does he go in the end? Murderbot is confused about what happened when his memories return. He is no longer theirs. According to Mensa, since they purchased him from Corporation Rim, they have permanently removed his name from their stock list. They insist he is free in every way, even though they paid for him. In Preservation Auxiliary, he is free to do what he pleases without worrying about being attacked or threatened. The fact that Murderbot is no longer obligated to defend anyone seems unusual to him, yet he is relieved. He had worked for his mental independence, and now he has it. Thinking more deeply, Mensa realizes that Preservation Auxiliary will only make him do what others want. Despite his desire to travel with them after their positive meetings with Grey Chris, Delta executives, and the corporation, he spends the day with the crew. Even if the robot is flawed, Mensa and company still stand to gain from this situation. After everyone goes to sleep, Murderbot, disguised as a regular person, departs. Guru Thin finds himself roused near the door. People mistake Murderbot for being stuck in its old ways because of its continued pledge to patrol the perimeter. He tells the robot that he's been there too, but things do get better in the end. His initial dislike of the robot is now mild. He says he'll help, but Murderbot won't stop monitoring the perimeter. Guru Thin knows this is the final farewell that Murderbot will say. Knowing this, he sets the robot free. Murderbot reflects, if I left with them, I would have to stay with Mensa and the gang forever. I would be living their lives, not my own, even if I was set free. The truth is that he is confused about what he wants. Since being free, he hasn't figured out how to adjust. No one else's values can sway him. He knows this in his heart. Going forward, he plans to take charge of his life. He is leaving, even though he loves Mensa and the squad. Since he despises goodbyes, he doesn't say one. Guru Thin understands his instruction to inspect the perimeter. Now that he's at liberty, Murderbot has to make a decision. Even though no one suspects he's a SEC unit while he's dressed properly, he knows he can't maintain his cover for long. He must depart immediately, and so he boards the first available flight. Strangemind is the next stop. In order to ensure the cargo bot's safety, he quickly contacts them and offers millions of hours of top-notch pleasure content. He is filled with anticipation as the ship sets sail for this new adventure. Up in Mensa's head, Murderbot has vanished. She realizes he has departed when she sees the spacecraft soar away. Despite her sadness, she is relieved because she always wanted him to be free. Even though Murderbot has a happy ending, this is only the beginning. There will be further problems for him. Upon seeing the tragic vision, he took flight to a mine. This shows that he is curious about his function. Finding the truth, clearing his name, and overcoming remorse and ruined memories will be the focus of his upcoming chapter.